Hello and welcome to Softening Studio. I'm Julie. I'm thrilled that you're here joining me today. We're going to be talking all about Mars conjunct Jupiter, doing an oracle card reading for the period of time where Mars is conjunct Jupiter, along with some other tricky aspects that are coming up. And then I'm going to share with you a little bit about our grand opening events. Those details will also be in the caption below for you to check out. So let's first talk about Mars conjunct Jupiter. This aspect is happening on Wednesday, August 14th at 11:21 a.m. Eastern Time. And this is a complex aspect to describe because each of these planets, Mars and Jupiter, are bringing very different energy to the situation. So Mars is a planet of action and disruption and challenges, and Jupiter is a planet of wisdom and expansion and success. And when you bring them together in this conjunction, each of them can offer their skills and abilities to the situation. So what that means is that you are likely going to experience some challenges or difficulties during this situation. You may also experience some successes and benefits as well. However, nothing is likely to go as you had planned. So one of the things that we talked about in the blog post this week, I'll put the link to that in the caption below as well, is that this is an opportunity for you to observe and become aware of what's going on with the areas of your chart where Mars and Jupiter rule, and consider how these experiences that are coming up for you are interconnected, and if there are any changes or updates you need to make to your plans and intentions surrounding those areas of your chart. So the areas of your chart that Mars rules are Aries and Scorpio, and the areas that Jupiter rules are Sagittarius and Pisces. And one other thing I want to note is that this conjunction is opposite the moon in Sagittarius, and the moon in Sagittarius likes freedom. So this opposition between the two further suggests that you're not going to get things exactly how you want. You may not have things as you had hoped, or have as much freedom in the situation as you had hoped for, and you'll have to make the best that you can out of the situation. And this is really an opportunity to shift your mindset and use your affirmations or your self-care practices to stay grounded, so that during anything that is maybe tumultuous, even if there are beneficial, some things that are beneficial and some things that are challenging, that you are able to stay as positive as possible and move through this time in the best way possible. And I think the other thing that's really important here to know is that sometimes these aspects can cause a lot of fear for folks. They can cause fear and anxiousness, and challenging things can happen. The astrology can reflect in a challenging way in our lives, and it may be difficult to navigate. But when we are able to stay grounded, and when we are able to stay positive and focused on the highest good of all, we can navigate these challenging circumstances, and we can pivot as necessary when we're trying to stay aligned with our intentions or goals. So no, we may not get things exactly as we want. We have to make some compromise. Maybe we have to make some adjustments, pull back on some of the things we're doing, in certain areas of our life. But it's all a learning experience, and it can all support you. So that's one of the things we're really working with at the studio this week. And like I said, I will drop the link to the blog post in the caption below. As you are reflecting on this astrology, I would love to hear about what's been coming up for you. Okay, so, I did just want to note that we are having a series of the transits. So this oracle card reading that we're doing is for the period of time between August 14th, which is when the Mars conjunct Jupiter aspect is, through August 19th. And the three aspects that happen during this time period are Mars conjunct Jupiter, Mars square Saturn, and Jupiter square Saturn. So even though the very first transit happens on August 14th, and then the last of these three transits happens on August 19th, you're likely to already be feeling the energy from them. The disruption, the friction, or the action, or maybe you're getting some mini reality checks and making pivots already. And the more you can kind of lean into that space and awareness that these things are coming up, the better you'll be able to move through them with patience and ease and shift where necessary. So this reading is to help us navigate through these transits. I'd like you to think about something that's coming up for you right now. Very often, the very first thing that we think of when somebody suggests that is usually the thing that we need to be focusing on. So I'll give you a moment to just think of a specific thought or question that you'd like to receive guidance on. And the more open-ended your request is, the more information you'll actually receive. Okay, so our first card is Making Waves. Our second card is Ripple Effect. And our third card is She Who Flows. So this reading is suggesting that there's something coming, and there is either something you've been working on or you've been thinking about. It could even be something that you're moving away from. And whatever that is, there is energy supporting you for your desired outcome with that. So if it is that you want to achieve something, there's energy supporting you to get going towards that. If it's to move away from something, there's energy to help keep getting you away from that. And with this energy, there is a very lean into the positive side of Mars, instigating something here. This is where Mars is being really supportive. So I would say definitely look at the Mars ruled areas of your chart, Aries and Scorpio, and consider what kinds of things are activating in there right now, and if there's anything specific that you want to take action on with that during this time period. And my computer just I haven't touched my mouse for so long that my computer went dark. So that's important to note. So this is us, leaning into the Mars energy and the Mars areas of our chart. So bring some of the focus there. And then I love how the ripple effect card is, I'm going to show it once more. This feels very Jupiter. So, we don't have to know exactly how everything is going to work out. This is a time to have some faith. So, take action. Allow the energy and momentum to build, and then trust that the details are being taken care of. Have faith. However it is that you like to build having faith and hope in a situation, now's the time to have that. And remain in that space. Try to be hopeful and faith-filled without cynicism or sarcasm or fear or anxiousness. This is a true embodied just exhale of I'm held. Okay? And then our last card, this is definitely, the She Who Flows card is definitely reflecting the flexibility and adaptability that we need during this time. And I actually think that it feels it feels a little like a sharp change. It doesn't, like, in doing all of my astrology interpretation of this transit and, sharing with folks and my clients about what may come up for them during this time, I have really proposed to, find the silver lining and stay positive, and that things can be hard and we can still get through them. And this is actually a situation where I can see that that's going to be extra important, because we're being asked possibly to change something. And this change doesn't actually feel as willing as I had maybe thought things could be. This feels a little bit more like, no, you're probably going to have to make a change. So do keep that in mind. Now, changes big and small can be supportive. So though sometimes, for those of us that are really, set in our ways or have a specific desire of how we want something to go, sometimes we make, okay, we'll make this change, no problem. Oh, and I have to make this change. Okay, I'll make that change. I'll keep going. Oh, and now I've got to change this. Okay, I've made that change. And then we get to like the fourth or fifth change and we're like, okay, like enough is enough. Like now I'm frustrated. So that's what I mean when I say there's going to be some change. I don't think this is going to be just like a single change or a couple of changes. I think there might be a series of changes that feel frustrating or uncomfortable. So, yeah. So, get going on something. Build the momentum. Take action. Be hopeful and faith-filled on how things are going to come. It's going to be okay. And then be open to change, because it's probably coming. and you may have to change or compromise more than you had wanted or expected. That is not to say that something really positive or successful couldn't come out on the other side of that. So do keep that in mind as you're working through this. Thank you so much for joining me. I am so thrilled that you have continued to join me here. And I just want to let you know that for our grand opening events, we have a free workshop called Astrology for Intuitive Self-Care with Julie, me. And I'll put all the details in the caption below. We also have another workshop coming up in September, which is called Flower and Elements with Becca of Arlen Flower Farm. And she's going to be presenting a beautiful workshop on flower design and working with the elements. And it's going to be amazing. So I'm going to put the details in that as well. And then the last thing is that I would love for you to get in on all of these grand opening events. So join our grand opening waitlist so that you can claim 1 month free of our self-care and healing membership when it launches. Thank you so much again for being here. I wish you the best through this time and do what you can to stay positive. Do let me know what comes up for you in your chart. I'd love to hear about it. Talk to you later. Bye.